Mm. Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the emergency response bureau reports. Our member is Tianyu Han, Ye Jinyang, Tianxing Zhao, and Xiaotong Zhou. Here's the acknowledgement. And here come to the introduction part. The flooding in Eastern Australia in 2022 was one of the worst natural disasters in history. Many coastal areas were severely affected by the floods. And here comes to the disaster responders. And we have like six. We have researched 6 responders, Aboriginal Affairs consultant, post-disaster reconstruction designers, on-site rescue workers, flood researchers, disaster reconstruction expert, and mental health staff. And here's the 4 series we have researched: human-centered design theory and country-centered design theory, relationality theory, and deep listening theory. And here are some methods we have researched. The first one is yarning method and resilience design methods, comprehensive methods, and promoting humanistic methods. And here comes to the frameworks. We have 4 frameworks. The first one, the first one is the co-design framework, and share power, prioritize relationships, use particular parity means, and build capacity. And here's another 4 frameworks: design anthropology framework, connecting with country, and Australian disaster recovery, and PPR. Here's some precedents we have researched. It's in design field: architectural design, textile, industrial, graphic, interaction, and inclusive. The precedent one is architectural design. Lismore is located in an area prone to flooding, so local residents and communities have begun to build elevated houses to prevent floods from damaging their homes. And precedent two is industrial design. The Outback Emergency Water Purifier uses a gravity-driven filtration process to generate clean drinking water in emergency situations. And the precedent 3 is interactive design. The Red Cross emergency app is an app for dealing with extreme weather.
Okay, this is part about site analysis. Next, it's the climate conditions and design strategies. Brewarrina is located in the northern inland region of New South Wales and has a semi-arid climate with dry windy springs, extremely hot summers, mild autumns, and cold nights in winter. The region has low rainfall and extreme temperature fluctuations, and faces environmental challenges such as extreme heat, water shortage, and sudden torrential rains and flooding. Okay, next page, please. This chart shows the estimated average monthly flow of the Bowen River at Brewarrina. The river remains mostly dry during the summer and winter months, with significant peaks observed in spring due to upstream rainfall from Queensland. This seasonal pattern indicates a high risk of flash flooding and prolonged dry periods, requiring adaptive design strategies. Okay, next page. This chart illustrates the number of days each year when the Bowen River at Brewarrina experienced cease-to-flow conditions. Between 2017 and 2020, prolonged droughts resulted in extended dry periods, peaking in 2019. Recent years shows improvement, but the trend highlights the extreme variability and the necessity for water-resilient planning and ecological buffering. Next page, please. So this is a 3D contour modeling. The blue part is the Bowen River, and the red part is the main buildings and blocks in the community. Okay, next page. Here are 4 pictures of water level diagrams. Normal, September, October, and November. October is the month most likely to see a flood crisis. From the simulation map, we can see that almost half of the community is submerged by the river. This table summarizes how extreme heat, flash flooding, prolonged drought, and cease-to-flow periods affect the Brewarrina community. These environmental conditions pose risks to health, cultural heritage, mobility, and ecology. In response, design strategies should incorporate adaptive systems, including passive cooling, elevated infrastructure, ecological buffers, and culturally sensitive landscape interventions. This chart summarizes how different climate responsive design focuses: thermal comfort, flood resilience, drought adaptation, and cultural ecological integration can simultaneously enhance desirable conditions and protect communities from adverse impacts. A dual approach is essential to build resilience and cultural continuity in the face of climate uncertainty. This diagram shows how to work with the land's natural topography to achieve key site goals: flood control, efficient traffic flow, natural light optimization, wind and rain protection, and community safety. Integrating design with terrain helps reduce risk, improve comfort, and preserve the cultural and ecological identity of the site.
Brewarrina is a very hot and dry place. In summer, the temperature is often over 40 degrees. In winter, it is cold at night. There is also not much rain, and this makes life hard. People may feel sick or not have enough water. Storm and strong winds can also cause damage. Next page, please. To help this, we designed house with deep roofs and window shade. We use fans to let air move inside. Choose brick walls and keep the heat out. The light-colored roof reflects the sunlight, maybe help too. We also collect the rainwater and use better rings. The design keeps people safe and comfortable.
These are the potential hazards that may affect Brewarrina, which I have summarized based on relevant information and reports. Prolonged flooding. In October 2022, floods cut off multiple roads, leaving residents in western Brewarrina and Gaduga stranded for weeks. The floods not only disrupted transportation but also posed risk of secondary disasters. Bushfire threats. After the floods recede, dry hot winds combined with rampant vegetation growth greatly increase the risk of bushfire. High temperatures and drought together create a natural podcack. Wildlife hazards. Following the floods, winged animals such as snakes and crocodiles enter residential areas, significantly raising risks of bites and disease transmission. The conflict between humans and wildlife over living space urgently needs to be addressed. Supply shortage, roads closures lead to interruptions in food and medicine supplies, with vulnerable groups being the most affected. Hidden crises, violence and exclusion. Temporary shelters often lack proper management and privacy, posing safety risk for women and children. Marginalized cultural groups may be overlooked. Next page. Our design solution includes for floating, or temporary pedestrian bridges ensure access to supplies. Elevated refuge stations provide safe shelter. Terrain-based drainage induce water pooling. For bushfire, fire breaks using non-flammable materials. Visual alarm system for early warnings. For wildlife, rising ventilates floors to deter animals. Animal-proof fences and motion sensor lights. Voice alerts guide residents away from danger. To reduce violence and disorder, shelter zones separating men, women, and children with privacy features. Community management led by local elders or volunteers, and emergency alarms and night lights improve safety. To maintain supply, often open emergency routes, airport supply if needed, rainwater harvesting, and solar power for self-sufficient. Next page. I base our shelter sketch on Bangladesh flood-resilient house designs. Next page.
I will talk about how culture and politics affect design in Burywarina. About 68% of people in Burywarina are indigenous. They belong to different groups. Next page. This place is home to Vietnamese fish traps. These traps has over 40,000 year old. Many traps share them to catch fish and hold ceremonies. People still feel a strong connection to this site. They care about belonging and work together. So our design should use shared place and respect this history. Now let's look at the political side. About 70% of community are indigenous. Most leaders in local government are also indigenous. This means they make decisions that match their people's needs. In 2024, the local land council won a land claim that started in 1984. This shows the strong wish for land rights and self-rule. The local government also works to protect the water and rivers. They want to take care of mercy during bathing. Our design should support these goals too. So how can design help? First, we should create space for meetings and discussion. This space can be used by land council and local governments. Second, we can mark areas for indigenous and community land. We can adds signs and stories to teach visitors about local culture. Third, we can build water systems to collect rain and protect the rivers. These support the country's rights and help the government. In short, good design can respect the land, support the people, and share their voice.
Here's the chart and next page. We identified two residents with special needs and applied multisensory designs to add visual and hearing impaired individuals. Next page. Inspired by the UN Stop Disaster game, we designed immersive simulations to teach children escape skills through task-based play. Next page. We will recruit bilingual and indigenous volunteers to support illustrated evacuation routes, helping low literacy and non-English speaker. Next page. Wheelchairs, portable ramps, and volunteer-assisted evacuation points will support those with mobility challenges. Next page. To address communication gaps and evacuation delays, we propose visual flowcharts and small volunteer support points. Clean visual designs will help reduce panic. Finally, incorporating culturally meaningful elements in shelters will fight marginalization and neglect. Next page.
Here comes to the long-term issue. The first one, housing problems, mental problems, education problems, and medical problems. And the lack of housing space and the serious damage to houses make it difficult to rebuild them quickly. People after the disaster may have psychological problems for various reasons. And here comes to the solution. Indigenous culture is often overlooked in post-disaster reconstruction. Due to the remote location and the flood-hit area, the inability of supplies to arrive quickly has led to a serious decline in local medical standards. Here comes to the problem. And for the emerging issue, frequent disasters have caused unbearable psychological pressure on local residents and communities, and will also make post-disaster reconstruction difficult. Here comes to the solution. And will also cause a gradual loss of people. Frequent disaster will also destroy local civilization and communities. And here all comes to the solutions. And here's our references. Thank you for listening. Okay.